YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So it seems as though Meghan has been lining up her cards to divorce Prince Harry and pretty much come away with the upper hand in this whole debacle. So I've gone on to ccn.com and I found this article by a lady called Aubrey Hanson, and what she has basically said is that Meghan Markle fans are starting to turn on Prince Harry as predicted. And I've noted this whenever they've had issues with the media or they've had problems with the media, Meghan Markle has always allowed Harry to be the mouthpiece. When they stepped back from the royal family in January and formally announced their separation, Harry was the one to give a speech all on his own. Meanwhile, Meghan was nowhere to be seen and she was swanning around in Canada, having surgery, playing with the baby. She wasn't really around to watch the whole music go down, as Prince Harry was in negotiations with the rest of the family regarding their final separation from their senior duties. Meghan wasn't present at all and she let Harry face the music. When he was making those obscene comments about climate change and the way in which as a human race we have to do better towards the planet, and he was talking about Greta Thunberg, he was on his own, and Meghan Markle pretty much kept quite silent about that. There have also been other findings that point to her letting Harry look like the villain and look like the bad guy. Apart from her court documents, which have recently been published during her legal case against The Sun and the Daily Mail, it's all Harry. Even the text messages between him and her father really highlight that she doesn't seem to have really done anything. Harry seems to be the one who is seen threatening Thomas Markle with a watery end. Now, where is Meghan really in all of this? She seems to take a back seat, especially when there are extremely contentious issues flying about in the air, like the whole accusations of the British media being bigoted and extremely racist. Where is her viewpoint on these things? She didn't directly say that. Harry was the one who said it. And this is what Aubrey Hanson has highlighted from the book. She's basically said that everything that has gone wrong has directly been linked to Harry, and now Meghan Markle's sugars, we know she has her sugars, they are starting slowly to turn on him because she lets him take the fall for everything. She's allowed him to make the ridiculous statements. She's allowed him to look ridiculous. She's allowed him to organise the severance package from the royal family. Meanwhile, she stood back, tried to stand as far away from the heat as possible to keep her image intact, which pretty much hasn't worked because her image is in tatters and we can see her for what she truly is. So I'm going to quote Aubrey Hanson, and she says, "As I've said for quite some time, Finding Freedom is laying much of the blame for Meghan's shortcomings at the feet of Prince Harry. The fallout from Finding Freedom is starting to take shape, and those around Meghan Markle are paying the price. The book is not critical of Meghan at all and paints her as entirely blameless for her failed royal stint. And it does. She likes to stand back, even with her relationship with her dad, her tragic falling out with her father. She's standing back and she always acts as though she hasn't done anything wrong and she's completely faultless and blameless and perfect." So Aubrey Hanson goes on to quote, "The problem is someone has to carry the can, and that someone is the oblivious Prince Harry. Since we began seeing excerpts from the Meghan Markle and Prince Harry biography, Finding Freedom, I've believed that the book aims to portray Meghan positively at the expense of all else. Even Prince Harry. It's clear to anyone with a reasonable level of intelligence that the groundwork was laid for Harry being the scapegoat, should the couple's attempts at finding freedom prove unsuccessful." And pretty much it has been an extremely unsuccessful venture to date. They've gotten nothing but negative PR and criticism, which is something that Meghan has spoken up about. She's talked about online trolling and online negativity, which she's trying to escape. And she has directly mentioned that. She's never really been specific, but she never really is she? So it carries on to say, is Meghan Markle a strong, independent feminist or a shrinking violet? When it comes to Meghan Markle, the messages we get are most definitely mixed and confusing, and that is true. One minute she's saying she's strong, but then she doesn't really clear up any of her mess behind her. Is she the strong, independent feminist who was too much of a character for the dastardly old royal family to handle, or a shrinking violet on the verge of tears because she couldn't handle the pressures of royal life? Well, she's far from a shrinking violet. She's definitely someone who likes to graft and climb and grab as much as she can get out of every life situation and opportunity. She definitely maximizes her opportunities to level up. So I wouldn't say that she's a shrinking violet. And Aubrey Hanson carries on to say, I asked because it seems Prince Harry is being criticised for not preparing Meghan Markle for royal life and failing to protect emotional Meghan during her time as a royal. For a strong feminist, Meghan seems easily upset by the most trivial of matters. Was Meghan told not to smile at the cameras? I don't think so. According to Finding Freedom, a senior palace aide told Meghan not to engage with the media and not to smile at the paparazzi, which they claimed would egg on photographers. I don't know if I buy that claim. I've seen all number of royals during events surrounded by photographers, and each time they'll be smiling and chatting away. And I've personally seen that as well. I've seen them engaging. I know that I had an uncle who engaged with Princess Diana. I personally saw Prince Charles and Nelson Mandela once when I was quite young. So I know that they do engage with the public. This is a lie. It's false. Aubrey carries on to say, unless of course this was part of the evil plan to dampen Meghan's appeal, a conspiracy to stop Meghan flashing that winning smile to the cameras that she's paid for. Whatever the aim, it seems that the supposed request upset Meghan Markle. The poor little soul upset because a royal aide told you not to engage with the media. Prince Harry is being blamed for Meghan's inability to handle pressure of being a royal. The authors of Finding Freedom would never think of questioning Meghan Markle herself, but everyone around her is fair game, be it her father, the media, the British public, the royals, and even Prince Harry himself. Meghan was clearly unable to adapt to royal life, which is perfectly understandable. It's a high-pressure environment and one that few people are cut out to handle. Not everyone can be a Kate Middleton, and that's fine. But with all and sundry around the former royal couple refusing to lay any of the blame at Meghan's door, we see the blame attributed elsewhere, including Prince Harry. According to The Express, the fans are beginning to speak out against the wayward younger prince, claiming he failed to prepare her, either due to her ability to act, thinking she'd be able to adapt quickly, or due to fear of losing her, or due to God knows what, but he failed her. So now they are turning on Prince Harry. And there is a Twitter quote by Murky Meg, and she's put here, so now they're turning on Prince H. They're turning on H. And it seems to be the case. It seems as though they are starting to turn on H. Meghan couldn't handle the pressures of royal life. It's that simple. Anyone who believes that Meghan Markle wasn't given support during her times as a royal is deluded. And I personally agree with that statement. They are delusional. Even Meghan's cheerleader, Omid Scooby, admits as much in Finding Freedom, writing that the Queen had given Meghan Markle a masterclass in training, and he said she made sure Meghan knew what was going on and made her feel very much at home because it was her first trip. And I think that that was the Queen's mistake. She made her too comfortable. And that's what happens when you give people too much comfort, they can sometimes start to exploit your kindness and take your kindness for weakness. And then there's a clip of the Queen with Meghan when they done the short little train trip. And Scooby begrudgingly had to admit that Meghan did receive support from the royal family. And he said, when we look at the immediate royal family, I think they clearly did support Harry and Meghan to some extent. But to be honest with you, I think Meghan Markle coming off as a victim is a ploy for her to get out clean and intact and to let Harry take all the rubbish and the crap that is going to be thrown his way during this bloody divorce battle between the pair. So the last bit of the article that Aubrey writes is, to some extent, what exactly was she looking for? Surely a strong feminist like Meghan should have been taking inspiration from the ultimate feminist in the Queen and rolling up her sleeves and making the role her own. I'm not sure crying because someone told you not to smile is the mark of someone cut out for a high-pressured role in the most famous family on the planet. Tucked away in Santa Barbara is probably the best place for the poor girl. And that's the end of Aubrey's article. I agree with everything she said pretty much. It seems as though she's preparing Harry for the nasty, embittered divorce. She wants to look as good as possible when she finally steps away from using this guy who's turned into pretty much a pedestal for her. I'll be back with another video, guys. Bye.